Hello, my name is Deidre Kilpatrick, and this is the self-improvement presentation for interpersonal communications. So I did my presentation on cognitive mood therapy, and I read the book titled Feeling Good, The New Mood Therapy by David D. Burns. Um, so to start off, what is cognitive mood therapy? The book states, quote, a fast-acting technology of mood modification that you can learn to apply on your own, end quote. So, using this new type of therapy, it can lessen depression and help build your personal growth. um, so, cognitive therapy started in the 1960s, and the author of the book was centrally involved in the development of cognitive mood therapy. Um, so, what is the research behind cognitive mood therapy? Psychiatrists took 40 patients that were diagnosed with severe depression and split them into two groups. So the first group was used only cognitive mood therapy to help treat their depression, and the other half used just medication. And it stated in the book that 15 for the people who use cognitive mood therapy recovered completely, and then only 5 of the people who used drugs recovered, and more people dropped out when using medication instead of using cognitive mood therapy. So does it help anyone? Burns states, quote, since the first edition of Feeling Good in 1980, many thousands of depressed individuals have been successfully treated with cognitive therapy, end quote. Burns does not guarantee that this therapy will cure you forever, but he does state that it will make your life easier and help your personal growth in life. So for my first technique, I use the daily activity schedule, and we'll go over what it is, how do you use it, and did it help my personal growth. So what is the daily activity schedule? It is a list of activities to help people with what the book calls nothingness. So some days you just really get that feeling of not wanting to do anything, and you kind of just want to lay in bed. So this technique is to help you stop doing that and try and really start doing more activities in life. It's really just to help you with your motivation, and to show you that even if you do a couple of things, you're still accomplishing things throughout your day. So how do you use it? The schedule is broken up into two parts. The first part is your prospective part. So I did that the night before, and I wrote down hour by hour what I would do throughout the day, to just kind of get like a mindset of what I would be doing the next day. And then after you finish the day, you go through on the retrospective part, and you would write down whether the activity was mastery or pleasure. So pleasure being like reading a book or something, mastery being washing dishes or cleaning your room. And even if you didn't do something, you still write in what you did for that time slot, and then you would rate difficulty. For mastery, it would be 0 to 5 on how difficult it was, and for pleasure, it would be 0 to 5 on how much pleasure it gave you. So did it help? So usually finding motivation for me is very difficult on some days, so it definitely did help me accomplish things. I think sometimes you get overwhelmed when you look at all the things you have to do, so this helped me plan out my day, so that way I wasn't very overwhelmed with what I was doing, and I had enough time to break everything out. The second technique that I used is called the triple column technique, or talking back to that internal critic, and we'll go over again what it is, how do you use it, and did it help my personal growth. So what is the triple column technique? This technique is just like the title, talking back to that internal critic. It's supposed to help you with your self-esteem and build up your confidence. And it is just about having a healthy mindset and a positive lifestyle. How do you use it? So you have 3 columns. That's why it's called the triple column technique. The first one is your automatic thought. So, like if you were to say, I can't do this right ever, that would be your automatic thought. That's what you would put in the first column. Then in the second column, you would write down your cognitive distortion. So for that example, I can't do anything right ever. That is an overgeneralization. And then finally, in the third column, you would put your alternative thought, or what they would say, talking back to that internal critic. And so it's basically just a rational thought. Instead of overthinking things, you would just say, you do this right all the time, and you just had one slip up. So that way, you're having more of a positive mindset throughout life. So did it help? Yes, I think it did. It definitely helped the way you look on life when you start thinking in a positive light and you start changing the way that you think. So I think it helps me, but I do plan on doing this more in July, for a longer period of time. So, in conclusion, having a healthy mindset is my main goal. I plan on giving these techniques a second try. So in July, I plan on trying them more. So I only did these techniques once a week for like 4 weeks. So I plan on doing it every day for the month of July, just to see how well it really does help me, because it did help me throughout this project. And these are my references for the book that I read, and then for our communications book.